Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Vow to Be Fierce podcast. I am your host, Kayla Cordero, and I'm coming to you. You might be hearing me like out of breath, or this is just like how I sound. I'm actually taking you on my morning walk, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Because normally, if you follow me on Instagram, it's at Vow to Be Fierce. And if you don't follow me, you should definitely follow me, because my stories are always full of inklings and thoughts and tips and all the things. And I love connecting with you. So definitely follow me there. But what I've been doing is going on Instagram every morning and talking on my stories, and I take my community out for a walk with me. And sometimes it's just like a very small part of the walk, but I had to come on and share a podcast with you because I want to talk about the power of small changes. Small changes lead to lasting impact. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because let me tell you, this is huge for me, okay? And if you're laughing, you're like, a daily walk. Like, okay, Kayla, that's not that serious. That's not that big. And yet it has literally like just transformed my life. This morning I woke up looking forward to my walk. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm lying. I was not looking forward to my walk. I was, my cycle just started, and I was like, my body and all the things. And it was like a very busy morning, which that's how I roll. I like my mornings like that. And I was like, oh no, I just feel like sitting down. Like I just want to sit. And then I remembered that feelings are temporary. And when you have a mission on your heart, that is what's going to help you when you feel too tired, too this, too that. Because life will always be lifing. There will always be things to do. But the difference is, are you choosing yourself? And that's really like what has transformed my life. I've been focusing a lot on my daily habits and my rituals and caring for myself, mind, body, and spirit, because because over the last year, 2 years, probably plus, it has been really tough for me. And I feel like I was operating like on a hamster wheel. And things just didn't feel right. And I felt this urge that there's more. There's another way. I always felt tired. And like, I felt a lot of anxiety. And like my thoughts were racing so much. And, and if you've been following my journey a little bit, you know that over the last year specifically it was really, really tough for me. Really tough. Like everybody has their days. Everybody has their seasons of their life where they're like not the best, and that's fine because life is cyclical. However, I knew there was something wrong when I wouldn't snap out of it. Like I was like, okay, this is a couple days, okay. And then a couple days turned into a couple weeks, turned into a couple months and longer. And it's like, oh, no. I need to make some serious changes here. And, to be straight, like I did not have those thoughts immediately. Like normally I go into solution mode when I know that there's an issue. That's just me. That's just how I do, right? But here, what was happening is because I was over functioning, I just had to stop. I had to stop. I felt like everything inside of me just like shut down. And I went into this period that I've now called the void, And I'll share more about that on another podcast. But I'm sharing this to say that that period of time for me was a wake-up call, but the wake-up call didn't come until the very end. And sometimes you really do have to go through the thing. You have to go through whatever it is that is occurring, because sometimes things happen and this is, okay, have you heard of the saying, like, things happen for you, not to you? So I found myself saying that the other day, that I'm actually really grateful for all of the experiences in my life. The shitty ones, the mountains, the blessings, the celebrations, the achievements, the losses, the pain, the struggle, all of that. And that is because I know that after a period of any type of challenging time for me, I come out of it rising like the phoenix. I really do. And I come out of it with more clarity. And do I want to experience pain? Do I want to experience hurt, sadness, all the things? No. First of all, those emotions I just shared, those are things that we as humans feel on a daily basis. Like, we can feel on a normal, regular, time. I'm not talking about those feelings. I'm talking about when you're really going through it and you cannot even understand what is happening. I'm talking about a period where that's all you feel. It's not a cycle. It's literally like a straight line through shit. Like, that's it. And you can't see anything else because you're so stuck in that field. And anyway, so it was time for me to make some serious changes. And so I did. I made some major changes. I decided to seek a therapist, and I was super blessed, because I know it's not always easy finding the right fit. And I started slowly but surely. I started on my journey of trauma therapy and like focusing on that, because I was diagnosed with PTSD for many reasons. And it was tough. It was tough. And let me tell you why I'm more comfortable than most talking about the tough things. Like, I really am. Like, I'm the one that could sit with you in the dark while you're going through it. And like, it's okay. Like, I just want to show you love. I want to be there and support you. And that's what I noticed that I need as well. And so sometimes it's not even to offer anything more than presence. Our presence matters. Our presence matters. And I know, again, I'm all over the place, but it's all about knowing what you need to thrive. And so, I've made some big changes, but life isn't always about the big changes, right? And those big changes took me a long time. It took me years to go to therapy one-on-one, because I was so scared. I was so scared to sit with what I already knew was a freaking basket full of crazy, basket full of experiences that just I wanted to tuck away. But it's when we tuck away our feelings, our experiences, it's when we shove down, it's when we minimize ourselves, that's how we get sick. If you think of the word disease comes from a lack of ease. And that's why, there are so many studies about like how stress kills, and like stress is, like the worst thingy. Because when we think of dis-ease, automatically we go to the outcome, right? Or the diagnosis. But it's like, how did we get there? How can we prevent that? And that's why I'm talking about this, because, life isn't all about rainbows and candy. Okay, we already know that. There's rain and then there's rainbow. Okay, like there's a good mix. And so I think the more honest we are with ourselves, the more accepting we are, the more we love on ourselves, the better we can to take care of ourselves so that we can show up and take care of our people as well. And so I went off on that tangent to come back to the small change that I made. And that's starting with my daily walk. So because I work from home and because I live in a more secluded place a bit, I didn't go outside a lot. I mean, I'm naturally an introvert and a home person, but I have always appreciated outdoors and nature, and I feel most grounded by the ocean, or sitting on the grass or on the floor doing some sort of grounding ritual. And sometimes that's how powerful the earth is. That medicine is natural, it's in the earth. And when you are not exposed to that, especially on a regular basis, you become more isolated with your thoughts, with the energy becomes stagnant, all these things. And so even though they were accessible to me, I was not in a space to give it to myself. I wasn't. And I think that the shame and the guilt over not being able to take care of myself in the way that I know that I could, that took a toll on me. That took a toll on me because I put all of my energy into taking care of my kid. Because it's okay, I'm not doing good. Somebody has to survive over here. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But it's I did what I had to do with what I had in that moment. And in those moments, because it was a daily struggle. It was a daily struggle for me to do the things that I needed to do. I still worked. I still showed up. I showed up for my kid and I showed up for work. Those were the only two things that I could do. And sometimes, and I'll tell you, and if you're listening out there and if you're a warrior and if you're used to going through the thing, getting things done, continuing on, even when there's something off, even when you're exhausted, even when whatever, then this is for you. It took me a long time to realize that I needed to seek help outside of myself, because I was always used to taking care of myself. I was always the problem solver, coming up with solutions and all of this stuff. And I couldn't do that for myself. That's when I knew I needed to seek outside guidance and I needed to seek support. But if you're anything like me and, whatever your background is, however you grew up, whatever your lived experience is, if for whatever reason you got so used to taking care of yourself or having to rely on no one but you, then you know how difficult and challenging it is to seek assistance. And not only because it was hard to do that, I think the hardest part for me was, it must not be that bad. I'm taking care of my kid. I'm showing up for work. I'm still, excelling at my projects and doing my things. I must not be that bad. Meanwhile, inside, I'm screaming. My soul is screaming at me of just you deserve to be taken care of. You do not have to continue on like this. You don't. And it was in the over-functioning that sometimes we can forget. Or if there are people around us that look okay, but you kind of get a sense that there's something going on there, most of the time there is. And this is why I always say, like, yo, no one knows what someone else is going through. We just don't. And that's why we have to, like, it really is, like, I swear, like, I stand on this. I think it is our personal responsibility as humans to take care of each other. And how the hell are we supposed to do that if we don't take care of ourselves? Which is why I'm like focusing on the relationship we have with ourselves. And that has been quite the journey. Quite the journey, okay? And, but, you know, you do what you can with what you have. And for me, it was about really stopping, and I had to go there to bounce up. Like, I had to experience things that I've never experienced before in order for me to wake up and know, like, girl, what's up with you, girl? There's more to life than this, okay? You of all people know this. I talk to myself all the time because that voice inside of me is the voice that's talking to you right now, and that is the creator of the Vow to Be Fierce movement. That is Kayla Fierce. That is me, okay? The warrior come through. And the warrior isn't about, you know, always fighting and like toughing it out. No, the warrior knows the realities of life and still finds the beauty in it and still chooses to show up with love and knowing that there is something worth fighting for. There is purpose. And that's what being a warrior means to me. I know it has many different meanings for many different people. And so I know that I have a community of warriors out there. So shout out to you, okay? Because when I celebrate myself, I celebrate you. You know, I'm fortunate enough to have people in my community, in my circle, to celebrate me even when I couldn't celebrate me, to see the light in me when all I saw was a void, right? And so I don't know if they know. Some may know, some may not know. But little loving words, little kindness acts, right? Just like the presence, and this goes back to presence. Your presence does matter because people feel that. They may not say it. They may not even say thank you. You may not have the energy to. But I promise you that your presence matters. And so, of course, I didn't even talk about my daily walk. And so I'm ending now with that, of how that's one of the smallest things for me, because I needed to be outside. I needed to take care of myself, not only for my like physical health and movement. I'm an Aries rising. I need the movement for my healing. I need that. I thrive on that. And so I hold a lot of energy inside. And so walking for me is something gentle, because I'm like, yo, I'm not about to try to set myself up for failure either. And like set out this is what I think happens sometimes. Well, I know it's happened to me many times. I'm like, oh, I have this big goal. All right, let me go do this grand thing. And then I do that and I'm exhausted because life. And then I end up not doing it anymore. And it's like, oh, no. So I had to get really creative and be like, yo, what's the one thing I could do? Like I could commit to. And that was my daily walk. And I go outside every morning. Sometimes not in the morning, sometimes it's in the afternoon or whenever. I just make sure to get out there. And I've missed probably like a day or two in between, but over the last 2 months, I have committed to my walks, and I am proud to say that I show up for myself. And if I do miss a day or two or whatever, who cares? Who cares? I don't get stuck on that. Because when you start getting stuck on what you didn't do, then you're wasting energy on the things that you could have done and like get started again. I think that's where a lot of us get stuck. So it's like, just keep going, okay? Anyway, and this walk has transformed my life because I was over functioning and showing up for everyone but myself. This walk is for me. It's sacred. And I happen to bring my community along with me for some of the walk. But there is definitely some time where I just walk with the birds and the squirrels over here. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I'm always posting these crazy ass squirrels from here. I was like, yo, the squirrels in New York are way different than the squirrels in Florida, okay? Squirrels here are wild and they be getting up close and personal. And it's like, oh, okay. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to share that. And every single time when I feel like, I don't want to do the walk, I'm like, nope, I don't even think about it. I don't let the thought of being tired sink in for more than like 2 seconds. I grab my shit and go. I put on my sneakers and I go. I don't care what is happening at that time. And it was really tough for me because the mornings, I'm a morning person, and so I'm like most productive in the morning. And so normally I would go straight to my computer, straight to my email, straight to my phone. And I'm like, nah. Not doing that. I need my walk. So every day when Zoe goes to school, I go outside for my walk. And let me tell you how at first I started for 5 minutes. Because I know myself. You have to know yourself. I was like, if I could do 5 minutes, I could do 10. Oh, I could do 15. I could do 20. And then little by little, I build from there. And I don't time myself. It's not a timing. It's a simple thing about like, I'm doing something for myself, for my well-being. Because after the walk, I feel more grounded. I feel more centered. And my capacity, oh my gosh, my capacity has expanded. Because in that walk, I'm like releasing a lot of ish that isn't mine. Anyway, and showing up for yourself is like the best thing you could do for your confidence. It makes you feel really good. All right. I love you so much. I'm sending you mucho amor. So, reach out to me, connect with me on Instagram at About to Be Fierce. Also, what else? Oh, if this was helpful to you, please share it. Please share it in your stories. Share it with a friend. Let's get the word out there and like band together. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.